Michael Chandler's a little jealous of me. But first, I'm going to cover two important things. First thing is, you got to get this down, guys. How to develop an undefeated mindset. Resiliency. How do you develop it? And it's not what you've been taught before. This is vastly different. I'm going to teach you pattern recognition, seeing the world through a different lens. I'm going to teach that to you. It can be taught to you. The second thing, and it has application to this undefeated mindset. We're going to just briefly talk about why I think Conor McGregor is not going to fight Michael Chandler. And I'm going to also mention, hey, I'm going to throw it out there. I think Michael Chandler is a little jealous of me. Stick around. I'm going to tell you why I think he's jealous of me. My name is Dr. Peacock. I'm an adult psychiatrist. The human brain is very good at detecting patterns in the environment. Some of it we've inherited. So we have a fear of snakes. It's actually wired into our brain. We have special neurons that are uniquely dedicated for snake detection. That surprises people, but we know that to be true. So at night, a rope or a vine or a twig, it becomes a snake. That's interesting, right? But the really interesting thing is we can also learn to detect patterns. We do it all the time. Drive in a city for a while, you'll detect patterns. Become a radiologist, you can read an x-ray. So you'll see people detect patterns. Your brain is detecting patterns. People that are undefeated, and you know those people, they're really weird, right? Things don't wreck them. Outcomes, like bad outcomes. We're like, dude, that's a bad outcome. Not for them. They don't see it. And why is it not a bad outcome for them? They have a distant goal. They're striving for something greater, right? So they're naming their wins on something else. You're like, they go, no, I'm playing a long game. So owls, they see opportunities, right? They see opportunities where others don't. They see wins. They're naming their wins on a different game. You think you're playing this game. You think you're playing the game to be saved in this moment. They're saying, no, I'm naming this as a win for us. They learn, they don't get defeated. They learn, they don't get defeated. That is the L, it is the learning. They have an internal coach. They're very good at playing game film. They are coaching the hell out of themselves all the time. And they're like, I could have done it a little better. I could have done it this way. Sometimes what looks like defeat, they pull back. It's tactical retreat. And they just pull back and they look and they go, oh yeah, I learned. S, this is for self-directed reinforcement. This is really important. You gotta give sugar, dopamine, candy of the world a reward. Not literally candy, but you gotta give yourself some dopamine. You get the most dopamine from almost getting something. If we quit before we got it, we'd never be here. So we get real high reward for getting close to things. So it's the almost. So self-directed reinforcement, owls, opportunities, wins, learning. S is self-directed reinforcement. Every resilient person we've ever studied has this way of seeing the world. It's powerful. A few weeks ago, I met Michael Chandler. He's a good guy. I called him out on it though a little bit. I'm gonna show you the picture, but I didn't appreciate him photoshopping my body. Like, listen, I'm a good looking guy. And I was like, Michael, listen, you're okay, brother. You don't have to be doing this. So I called him out on it. But I tell you what I discovered about this man. Man, he has this mindset already. So when people ask me who's going to win the fight, well, I already know Michael's going to win the fight because he has an undefeated mindset, because it's not about this match. He's connected to something greater. And when I tell people you got to be connected to something greater, it's being interconnected to life, self, the distant self, the long self, others, interconnected to who they could manifest. So we're talking about your tribe, your family, your people, the people that are with you, and something greater. So it's the purpose and meaning. So you set your goals based on that. That is the undefeated mindset. So that's why I already know. When I heard about Conor not participating in USADA, I was a little disappointed because I wanted Michael to have this fight, but I know he's already undefeated. And then people were like, so how do you know how do you know Conor's not gonna do it? If you wanna know what somebody's going to do, you measure them by their behavior, not what they say. It is what they do in the world. And the reason why I do not believe Conor is going to fight is because he hasn't done the things necessary to line up this fight yet. So I think we got to look at that pattern. And when people get a lot of stuff, right, a lot of resources, but then they don't have that hunger anymore. They don't have that hunger. We evolved in a time in which resources were very finite. We had a hard time getting to things, right? And so that's why he has all these things, so he doesn't have that hunger. The things that drive us are the pain and the reward of the potential. So you get enough hunger, we would strive into the unknown. This is pre-agricultural, so Conor has everything. He doesn't need to hunt today. So that's why. But this owl's mindset, guys, what I just taught you guys, is really powerful. If you get this down, it will change your life. It applies not to just sports psychology. People are like, oh, okay, athletes. Really successful athletes that don't have the slumps, that don't go into this failure mode, they bounce back. They bounce back because they have these striving goals. They see the world through this magnificent lens of owls, right? But people in finance and business, they have losses, but they learn and they move forward. They come back. They have this undefeated mindset. So every area of your life is made powerful when you're resilient because you're playing in a different game. Owls. Amazing. Email me at larrypeacockmd@gmail.com. Everything on this and any other social media site is for entertainment purposes only. It's not meant to be construed as medical advice. If you have any specific questions, please always refer back to your provider. All questions should be general. Thank you very much.